Hello, everybody. Thanks for joining us here on the ice. ASTVProductions.com. Sponsored by Doak Spoke Fuels, Case Financial Group, Toby Hockey, and our friends at Pilot Mountain Hockey Academy. Today's guest, GM and Director of Player Personnel, Kevin McCallum, joins us. He puts the fishing rod away, puts the golf clubs to the side, and we're going to talk hockey for the next little while. The Cam River Fighting Walleye are back and, of course, ready, better than ever. Many returning players, perhaps, as well as some personnel changes in the clubhouse. But more importantly, getting ready to play a preseason schedule that is certainly unlike any other. Kevin's going to give us the details on that and how it worked out, but also the beginning of the season starting September 23rd against the Dryden GM Ice Dogs, the Crossbridge rivalry with the North Stars, and, of course, maybe some advice for the new team, the Sioux Lookout Bombers, joining the SI in the 21st season here in the SIGHL. So please welcome, without further delay, Kevin McCallum to On the Ice. Kevin McCallum joining us on the ice. Thanks, Kevin, for taking some time. I understand it's busy, it's crazy. Your schedule starts literally in a matter of a couple of weeks.
Well, it's good to be here. Yeah, we're chomping at the bit. I'm in the office here in the arena, and the first flood of water just went on this morning. So
right on.
It's nice to get into the building with nice, cool air conditioning. So we're excited to rock and roll here.
How has the summer been after the first full season with the Walleye, and then obviously just talk a little about improvements and what you've noticed over the first year and what has to be done to get ready for the second year?
Immediately we were recruiting, all the way through the playoffs. We had recruits come in. Our hockey ops staff is nonstop through the summer. We're in a group chat, and, there's probably 200 messages a day. So we're in a really good spot. Obviously, we have a lot of good returners coming back. Our scouting staff across North America has done really well. And as far as an organization, I think we overexceeded maybe some expectations getting to the final. We lost to a really good team, to Red Lake, but we've spent the summer evaluating and seeing where we can get better, not only on the ice, but off the ice and as an organization.
Can't really compare the Fighting Walleye to the inaugural season of the Vegas Golden Knights, can we? I mean, talk about, I don't want to say it's a Cinderella season, Kevin, but you certainly had great moves throughout the season, great work ethic by the players, and you certainly found some diamonds in the rough that showed off some tremendous potential and kinetic energies throughout the course of the season.
That was, one goes out to our coaching staff with Matt Valley and his crew with Henner and Butsy and Rico. They worked hard all year. And, some things fell in place for us, getting the right guys at the right time, Holden Woodcroft, Dayton Clark, getting Reacher, a couple key pickups on the back end there. And we worked hard for that. I mean, I'm fortunate enough to have a lot of contacts in the CJHL that a lot of guys do work with us. I hope we have a pretty good reputation of, being able to work with other teams. And we're in a overwhelming spot right now with, the amount of guys we have returning. Like I said, our scouting staff, our coaching staff has done a great job in the off season here, bringing in some top end recruits. I'm looking over at my recruiting board now. There's 40 viable names on that board, and you could shake them up and throw them out like dice, and we'd take 22 of them, and they're good hockey players. So we're excited to get going here. Makes it for real today with the ice going in, so it's coming. I don't know where summer went, but we had such a long winter. Even with when we were playing Red Lake, there's still snow outside. Usually playoff hockey, you get to see some grass a little bit, so it's really made for a short off season. And I know if our staff is anything like me, they're hungry to get going.
Certainly hungry, like you said, chomping at the bit, Kevin. Certainly an interesting. Who was the brainchild behind this preseason schedule that the Walleye are going to be facing in the next couple of weeks? I mean, before we get to the matchups, but tell me about the discussions that were happening about the importance of cross-league play, but also how impressive it is for the Walleye to have this opportunity come September.
Well, with the Sioux Eagles, we wanted to have the Telco Cup. Our goal is to have 3 other teams and us. We didn't get much cooperation in our league getting another team, so it made it tough. I had 3 NOJHL teams willing to come, but I didn't think it was fair to them to travel all this way and just play their own teams, right? So it's something we're going to work on. Doug Laprad from the Sioux Eagles is from Thunder Bay, so he's excited to get home, see some family play in Thunder Bay, or outside of Thunder Bay here in Oliver Papoose. Then on our Western Road Swing, I have a pretty good relationship with Ken Pearson in Neepawa, Mike Regan in Flin Flon, and then obviously with Greg in OCN. So the method to my madness there is to go up against the big boys, right, and see where we have to go. Our goal is to be in Portage, just like every other team in the SI this year. I know Ken's got a good team coming back. Mike always puts a good team up in Flin Flon, so it's. And just Flin Flon, I wanted our guys an opportunity to play in the Whitney Forum there, right? I had an opportunity to work for the Bombers. My grandfather coached for the Bombers. It's such an unbelievable venue, and I really hope the community comes out and the zoo is wild up there and show our guys kind of that that feel of the Whitney Forum, because it's one of the most I've been fortunate enough to work just about in every arena across Western Canada, and the Whitney Forum is something special. Going in there, it's. I could see where the Flin Flon flu came from. So I hope none of our guys get it. So we're going to be, we're excited, to play the NOJHL, the MJHL, and the SJ. Just thinking outside the box. I know Wisconsin's going on a big trip too. They're going all across from the AJ, SJ, MJ. They're doing a big trip. And just having partners like that in the league, just thinking outside the box and trying just to be a bit better and give our guys a different opportunity.
Let's start with the Teleco Cup, September 2nd through 4th. Like you said, the Sioux Eagles are going to be in town. 3 home games, 3 home preseason games for the Walleye. Tickets are available, obviously, and we hope to get a full barn in there for the preseason action.
No, absolutely. Yeah, the tickets are available on our website and through our sales team. 3 good games against Sioux Eagles. They're going to have a good team this year. I think we're going to do a best of 3 for the Teleco Cup. Hopefully we can keep that, and hopefully it doesn't go back to Sioux, Michigan. It'd be fun if hopefully we split Friday, Saturday, and make Sunday a pretty good test against each other. And that's a good opportunity to see players that they may be moving, and vice versa. They're going to be able to see a couple of guys that unfortunately we'll probably have to move at some point as well.
And then not a large break, literally a 1-day travel break, if you will, and then you're off to Northern Manitoba, visiting Neepawa, the Titans, OCM Blizzard from the Manitoba Junior Hockey League, and then the Flin Flon Bombers, like you said, the Windy Forum there. It's quite a building, and you're taking on the Bombers there as well. So what are you looking forward to in this cross-league system that you've set up here? Just to see what the leagues are like, matching them up, or just giving the players the opportunity to show off their talents to teams that you may see rarely, and hopefully may see in Portage.
Yeah, the opportunity to see different teams is fun. Obviously, we're in the smallest league in the CJHL, so you get a little monotonous when you got to play the same team 12 times. I think it's good for obviously last year with COVID a little bit still, right, is we lacked some team bonding right out of the gate, and I can assure you an 18-hour bus ride from Flin Flon back to Oliver Papoose here, there's going to be some bonding in there. I had an opportunity to see some friends and obviously see some players, right? Obviously, Flin Flon, Neepawa, OCN are going to be moving some guys, and there's an opportunity where maybe a couple of our guys might have an opportunity in a different league too, if that's what they choose. I think the biggest thing is to see what we got early. We're going to roll in with about 30, 35 guys into these exhibition games and try and see what we have in net. We got 3, 4, obviously we have Eric Vanska coming back in net, but we have 3 or 4 very viable guys that are going to push him for his job as well this year. So, get everyone games, get our young guys used to the competition level. Obviously playing teams like that right out of the gate's going to really open the guys' eyes, especially our young guys, right, and give them some experience early.
Certainly, especially for the young guys that haven't been on a bus ride like that before. They're going to love that, the bonding experience for sure, Kevin.
Yeah, it's going to be a long one. So it's you're either going to love each other or hate each other at the end of those 3 days. So hopefully hopefully we all get along.
I'm pretty sure you will. Let's talk a little bit about some of the player commitments that have already occurred I mean, you said off air up to 16 potential players to return, but you said that board in front of you has got 45 names on it.
Yeah,
What's it been like recruiting here over the summer? Is your brother still helping you out with recruiting?
Yeah, absolutely. Kurt's still involved. Yep. Brian Smeltzer, Chris Reganetto, Matt Valley, myself. We do a lot of the heavy lifting when it comes to recruiting. Having Carson Gorse, Trent Morso, Ethan Langback, Jeremy Dunmore, Holden Woodcroft, Kyle Lamoureux on the back end, like we're in a really good spot, right? So, I'm leaving out some names, but not out of ignorance. But, even I'm more excited about our young D-Corps coming. We have 7 kids coming in here that are big, fast, and strong. They're young. We're going to be young on the back end. We're going to be experienced up front. We're going to be experienced in net. But trading for Ryan Doucette in the offseason, that's a big local to bring back. So that's exciting. And then, it's camp's going to be competitive. Coaching staff and the hockey op staff is going to have a tough time picking a team this year. And the toughest part for us is the kids we tend to keep here are good kids, right? So when it's time to move kids on, it's a tough job to do, right? We traded Jonah DeRoger to Kirkland Lake already this summer. Jonah's a great kid. He worked in some hockey camps this summer for us, and it's tough, right? We're at a bit of an O2 crunch here, so there's still 2 or 3 O2s that that we're going to have to move on, and I try to do my best to give them the best situation to move forward in their hockey career.
Absolutely. It's you mentioned that O2 crunch and that getting rid of the ebbs and flows in junior hockey. We have tremendously really successful seasons, and then you have that off season. That balance, Kevin, you're creating right now within almost just a team with 1 year under its belt. Do you find it difficult to create that philosophy and that chemistry, or is that something that the whole staff is really working towards being competitive year in and year out?
That was kind of our plan, right? I mean, we really didn't know what we were going to have last year. We figured maybe in month 2 or 3, we got a pretty good team here. Who knows where it's going to take us? And in all honesty, this team was built for this year. That's why we had 18 eligible to come back. 2 have moved on, and our staff, all the way up through our ownership, our staff, everyone is big on working together. And just creating an environment where kids want to play, right? So this summer was a lot easier. We had kids calling us. If we sometimes get where the ugly stepchild sometimes, when kids want to play in the AJ, the SJ, the MJ, and if they don't make those respective leagues, we're here. Kids get a different opportunity with us. We treat our guys really well. Even our major junior players that have came through here said that, the things we do for our players is upper echelon. So, and that's all we aspire for. We give everything back to our team, and we expect a lot of our players to be a Cam River Fighting Walleye, right? We're going to move you on to school. We want you in the community. Community is big for us. I know Colin Wiseman was out at camp, and 6 or 7 kids found out who he was, and they wanted autographs. So, and that's that's the exciting atmosphere. Derek and his staff have created. On ice, we work hard, we play hard. And to receive, accolades like that from fans and stuff, that's what it's about, right? Little kids coming up and getting autographs from our guys. That's the real reason why we're here. So it's overwhelming still. Everyone still talks about the Fighting Walleye everywhere I go. So hopefully we can keep the momentum going. I know our township's proud of us. Even Mayor Lucy she's a billet this year. So she was excited. She's going to take 2 players, and she lives out here in Oliver Papoon. So having the mayor as a billet is going to be kind of neat. So better not trade any of her players.
That would be quite the conversation around the chamber, that's for sure, Kevin.
Yep.
We talk about the progression before we go to break. I mean, I also noticed on the website we have the junior the mini walleye, the junior walleye program starting up here next week. Just getting that name and that recognition through the U7 program all the way up to the junior ranks. How important is that to the community, and just the fact that you've been able to build such a great rapport with the community of Oliver Papoose, the surrounding area of Cam River, for young players to recognize the jersey, see the excellence and the tradition that has already started so quickly, and just have these kids so excited to wear the colors of the Fighting Walleye?
Yeah, it's exciting, right? We sell out really quick for our hockey camps. Our players, they run as the counselors. Matt Valley kind of heads the school, and they all get Walleye jerseys and they're pumped. They get Walleye stickers for their helmets. The biggest thing, the kids could care less about Matt and myself. It's our players that go out on the ice and they look up to them, right? And just having that, our partnership with Northwest Minor Hockey, who plays out of our arena here, is huge. It's fun. If I walk down the hallway, there's not a kid that doesn't get a puck or a stick or a sticker. Not sticks, can't afford that to every kid, but kids come in and out, and they always have Walleye gear. Even just driving around the township, seeing 15, 20 trucks with big Walleye stickers on them, right? So it's pretty cool, and then that's our grassroots, is those kids. And I think our biggest success is the 5 or 6 kids that we got messages from the township that are going to start playing hockey, and it's because of the Walleye. Mom and Dad took them to a game. They seen the excitement, and all of a sudden now they want to be hockey players. And I think we're doing our job when minor hockey numbers grow, and whether or not they play for us in the future, as long as they have fun. And I know sports was huge in my life, so it's great to see kids get involved and have something to go for.
Certainly, it's an important part of growing up, sport and community and camaraderie amongst team. Absolutely. And participation in this sport, we've seen numbers drop so much over the last couple of years across this great nation. It's good to see players coming back to the game. Kevin, let's take a quick break. We're going to come back after the break. We're going to talk about the beginning of the actual regular season and the rivalries that have been set up so far in this first year with the Fighting Walleye. Stay with us. We'll be back here on the ice. Back here on the ice with Kevin McCallum, GM and Director of Player Personnel. We talked about the Teleco. We talked about the cross rival with the MJ and the SJ happening shortly thereafter. A couple of games still to be determined in the preseason. Then it all gets ready Friday, September 23rd against Dryden. Team's got to be ready to rock and roll. Numbers got to be down. Is that the exciting part or the hard part that you look forward to, Kevin?
Chomping at the bit, getting the season started is exciting, but excuse me, sorry. Bringing in these young guys, obviously not everyone's going to make our club this year, and that is the tough part of our job, is having those conversations with kids. Right, they've invested in you all summer. They want to be Walleye, so we do our best to land these kids in an appropriate spot to continue playing. I know there's some teams that just cut the kid and they walk out the door, where usually when I bring a kid in the office, I have 4 or 5 options for them already, right? And I think, if we're not doing that, just to bring kids in and then gas them without any, opportunity anywhere else is, that's kind of a scramble mode for kids at that time of year. So, and obviously going in the dog pound to start the season is never easy. So I expect Dryden to have a big, strong team, just like they do every year with Kurt behind the bench there. And it's a tough opener, right? We got Dryden back to back, and then home and home with Thunder Bay, and then we got a pile of Red Lakes. So it's we're going to see Red Lake early and often, and then the team we see in February won't be the same team that we're going to see in September. So
no, and I think that at the same token, they're going to be seeing a team that they're not going to see the same in February from the Walleye as well. Talk about playing like Dryden. You said Thunder Bay, the crosstown, the cross bridge rivalry, we'll call it. Have you noticed the area get a little bit riled up when they see, the orange and black versus the old green and yellow?
Well, you definitely see a lot more orange and black, so that's a bonus. Even driving into all of our Papoons, we have a big sign on all the township signs, home of the Fighting Walleye. So you can't go a day without driving around without seeing the Walleye. And, North Stars have a great fan base. I run into people all the time. They tell me they're very clear that they're North Star fans. And, they tell me how they feel about the Walleye. And that's great. That's what rivalry is, right? I'm a Penguins fan. I don't like the Philadelphia Flyers. So it's there's nothing wrong with that. I think the rivalry is going to grow. I know the last couple of games of the regular season last year, Thunder Bay had 2,500 people in the place, and it's exciting when we score in there because we had recruits ask if it was our home game. You know what I mean? So it's fun. We've created something special here, and I hope to. Not only our arena, but I hope the Fort Wayne Gardens is full every time we play. That's what it's about. Our goal is to work with them. We don't have to like each other on the ice, but at the end of the day, we're business partners off the ice, and that's all we ask for is to try and work together. But either nor here or there, we just got to keep our own kitchen clean and keep rolling forward, right? That's their horse, their race, and but come September, I think it's first week of October there against Thunder Bay. There's a little different buzz in the arena when it's us and Thunder Bay. So, we see these guys around town, they see us. So
are you running for mayor? Are you running for a political seat with that comment, Kevin? You're keeping it very low key, very middle ground for me.
I don't want to get my hand slapped by the commissioner.
There we go.
So, you know what? We love them and they love us. So I look forward to playing them. So
60 minutes on the ice, maybe a couple of overtimes, shootout perhaps. We'll let it all settle on the ice. And like you said, we're here for the strength of the SI, which is in its 21st season. Comments a little bit about last year and just not the hesitation, but rather the excitement to see hockey back in the rink and just how much of a crescendo we're going to see growing that come September here for the SI in its 21st season.
Well, obviously, like everybody in the world, hopefully our restrictions don't go backwards, right? These kids have had so much to deal with, right? And even us as an organization, start and stop. In theory, we still haven't played a full season of junior A hockey with the Cameron River Fighting Walleye, right? So I think that's our biggest goal. The township of Oliver Papoons does a really good job keeping this arena clean and sanitary in hopes of, keeping obviously numbers down if that's the direction we go. So it's overwhelming. I know our VIP seats upstairs, they sold out in less than an hour. Derek Geddes called me and he's like, I wish we had more space. And I said, yeah, but there's been rumors, and they're just rumors about building a new arena or extending here, but it also loses that intimate atmosphere, right? When you put 960 people, I'll say, in the arena, she's tight in here. If you're at the far end of the arena and you're having a beer, or if you need to go to the washroom or grab a hot dog, you're probably not going to get to it. It's too packed in here, and even in our playoffs against Thunder Bay, as showing recruits, our arena is sold out before warmups. I mean, how many times do you see that in junior hockey? The seats are full before the music goes on. So that's
awesome.
That's wild, and it's fun, and just the overall atmosphere in here is exciting. And Derek and Cody and the sales team there with. They're going to have bigger horns. The big walleye that flies through the ceiling is going to have some upgrades to it. So we have a big screen TV going to be coming into the arena here. I think it gets delivered in January. So about midway through the season, we'll, Derek puts on a good show in there. Losing Abby DeZuba to the Mississauga Steelheads really hurt, but having Cody step up, and he's a major part of our team. So looking forward to see what they create here.
We're going to have some parking lot block parties, if you will, perhaps.
Oh, I'm sure there'll be a tailgate there. It's kind of our home opener is obviously on the 30th, I believe, of September, and then I think we're back on the road. So not too much. Once the snow starts flying, it gets a little chilly to have beers outside. But I know without tipping the hat a bit, I assume there'll be fireworks and live bands and such going off again. So I know we're with Valley Foods is a big supporter of ours. They usually donate some fireworks, and we put on a pretty good show here. So
awesome.
With a permit.
Sneak me in the Zamboni door on the 30th?
What's that?
You'll sneak me through the Zamboni door on the 30th?
We'd love to see you. I have your hat sitting here, so
I would love to get down there.
We'll take you fishing too.
The being the new kid on the block last year, sort of. I mean, you kind of had your first inaugural season. This year, we're introducing another new team, the Sioux Lookout Bombers. Any advice, perhaps, or any words of encouragement you can give a program like that? Because it's great to see a new program. It's showing strength in the league as well. So, what are you looking forward to that first little tilt with Sioux Lookout? Yeah,
I mean, Austin's done a great job there. I think they got a good a good structure in place. I think the biggest thing is don't panic. Stick to your guns. This is my second time with an expansion franchise. Been fortunate enough, to get both teams in the top 10 in Canada. But it's stick to your guns. Don't panic. Everything you do, even with the Walleye, everything we do, it's, people are always against change and positivity, and it's unbelievable. We got a really positive ownership group, staff, every things we've gone up against, COVID, we had a leak in our roof, after, $150,000 dress room, there's a leak, and just always seemed that there's roadblocks, right? And then everyone in our organization just kept going through and being positive, right? And that's all I could offer Sioux Lookout, is stick to your guns, stick to your whatever your moral code's going to be with players. We're big on 25 good kids here. A lot of people know I've released a lot of really good hockey players that didn't want to live kind of by our rules and how we operate in the community, and they moved on, and that's, and they went on to other bigger and better leagues, had good careers, but that's just not how we operate. Even with billets, right? I'd rather keep a billet for 10 years than a 120-point guy for 1 year. And that's reality. We're big in, like I said, in our community. So that's another thing with Sioux Lookout, is just be in the community, be visible, be accessible. We have minor hockey here all the time. Our guys are accessible to our guys all the time. And our guys love being around the kids, signing autographs. And one thing I did notice is I guess these kids don't learn how to write their name very much anymore, because I seen some of our kids in autograph sessions last year printing their names. So I had a pretty good laugh at that. I mean, my goal was to be a famous baseball player when I was younger. I practiced my autograph all the time. It didn't happen. So, but at least I could still sign my name. Yeah, I had a good laugh. A couple of our 20-year-olds are printing their names during autograph sessions. So hopefully we work on that this year.
You have to have a little half-hour session with Mr. Valley in class and say, okay, guys, we learned how to do a signature.
Oh, for sure. Matt, I assume Matt's filled pages with his autograph for sure.
I can remember the days of practicing my signature as a kid as well. I had dreams, aspirations, as always. You've talked a little bit about the importance of community involvement with the team, with the kids, the younger kids, and the levels of hockey. How important is it to have these kids accessible and visible within Oliver Papouge, just to show their support and their giving back off the ice as well? I mean, talk a bit about the culture that the players, when entering the group of the Fighting Walleye, and how important they are to what they do on the ice, just as important as being off the ice.
Well, they're role models, right? So, we're in the schools, quite a bit of schools in the region. We have the Amarillo Fall Fair coming up next week. We got a booth there, and all our players signed up right away, to be out there. Just having those positive role models, right? Even if when we go to schools and kids aren't hockey players, they cheer up the class. Even in the playoffs, our bus was leaving the Red Lake for Game 6. There was probably 150 people downtown in Quebec Falls with flags and jerseys, and about 60 kilometers past Thunder Bay, there's still people outside their driveways rooting us on, right? And to have that following, it starts at the grassroots, right? I know there's some teams in our league, their average fan base is north of 65, and that's great. Where our average fan base, isn't a day over 13. We have kids in here, they're having fun, they get little trinkets. Derek does a really good job. They had lighted up bracelets last year, cowbells. The cowbell, I got to sit on my couch when my 3-year-old plays mini sticks now and ring the cowbell the whole time, or he gets upset. So, and saying that, my 3-year-old, when I bring him around the room, I let him go to the room. I walk away because I know we have 25 good young men in there, and he looks up to Zach Fortin and Ethan Langer as heroes. So, and those aren't bad kids, for my son to look up to if he's even remotely the people those two are. I think my wife and I have done a pretty good job because he loves it. He's got on the bus. He got to sit with Zach when we went on a road trip to Thunder Bay, and he thought he was the coolest guy in Thunder Bay. So it's I was that little kid that grew up watching the Flyers, and wanted autographs. And I often tell my guys I don't remember the 1,000 autographs that I've gotten in my life, but it's the one when Dennis Eckersley told me to F off, I've remembered that my whole life, so even during camp, I set kids up in the tunnel where our dress rooms are for camp and see who's giving high fives, who acknowledges the kids, because those are our fans. And that we don't take that lightly. The support we get, we're gonna do everything. We do lots for charities in the region, schools. So it's overwhelming, and our guys answer the bell, and they step up big time for volunteers.
They certainly do. And like the impressions towards a 3-year-old, any 3-year-old, not just your son, Kevin, but so those young bucks that are looking to get involved into the game, to have those role models, like you said, on and off the ice, is very important. Kevin, we're almost at the end of the show this evening. Final remarks and shout outs go to you. I know you've mentioned several names and several sponsors over the course of this last half hour, but the floor is yours. Any message, anything you'd like to say to the community, those watching Oliver Papouge, and just get ready to see some good hockey.
No, we're excited. Like I said in our chat group there, it's nonstop. We brought on Vern Ray, major junior player. Grew up watching him play pro. He's going to be on as a skills and video coach with us, and kind of a senior advisor. A great guy to have around. Chad Clower, who started out as a sponsor. Chad played in Vernon, went to Minnesota State, and his wife's from here, and they. Here's a guy, initially never thought of the SIJHL, came to a couple of games. Now he's bought right in, and he's going to be involved with our organization, both as a sponsor and our billets. Couldn't thank them enough. I think we're at 15, 16 beds, which is overwhelming. Obviously, we're in a unique spot where we get a lot of Thunder Bay kids. So having an abundance of billets allows us to, put together a team that Oliver Papouge can be really proud of. So looking forward to the first drive out here, September 30th, to host our buddies in Thunder Bay, and it's going to be wild. It's fun. It's a good ride. We're all in this for the same reason. We all want to win, and sometimes it gets a little hot, but we do a good job of keeping it cool. So we're excited.
The third jersey is still the same from last year with the OP on it?
We have the third jersey. We have a fourth set coming now. It's a gray jersey with digital camo, which we'll release here soon. And then we kept this black jersey here. Don't know if we're going to come back to it. We probably will, but we have our blacks that say Murillo, which is obviously one of the communities, a part of Murillo, Oliver Papouge. And now we're getting asked by people to have Kakabeka Falls jerseys and other little, hamlets in the community that make up Oliver Papouge. So eventually we'll get there. I think we like to keep it fresh, and we like to look good, play good. So
you'll be the Oregon Ducks, if you will, of college football. They seem to have 11 games and 11 different jerseys, but nonetheless, like you said, you want to support the communities and give them their shout outs as much as them supporting you as well. I forgot to ask you this last time, Kevin, but during playoffs, any flying walleye going on the ice before the game starts?
I know there was a couple in the building. I don't think anyone. We're pretty much meshed up on the fan side, so it's tough to sneak a walleye on the ice. But we have that 6-foot one with the glowing eyes that rips through the ceiling when we score. So I tell everyone that's the fish I caught. So they just stuffed it and put it up there. But I can assure you, when you walk in the arena at night and that thing glows and the horn goes off by mistake, it'll test your heart for sure. Derek did a really good job hunting that down. One of our supporters in the community, taxidermist, put that together for us, and I know the kids have fun with it. It goes right by our VIP booth, and they have fun with it as well too. So there's fun for all ages, right? It's I mentioned the kids, but even seeing people using our venue as a night out with their wives and their friends that live in Oliver Papouge. Maybe they don't want to drive to town. They come out here, they have one or two beverages, some French fries and a hot dog, and they have a great time, right? And then everyone goes down the hill to the Stanley, Stanley Hotel, which is a big supporter of ours. A lot of the visiting teams eat there after the last game on Saturday night, and it's a fun time. You go in there, and good or bad, the fans are letting you know how they feel, and so they let and that's what it's about. That's what we're in this for.
Having done this twice, Kevin, does it get easier to hear the bad comments just as good as it is to hear the great comments? And do do you take them with a grain of salt now that you have a little more experience?
I do, but everyone sees the game different, right? And that's why I like our hockey ops staff is, we're not always on the same page. We get into arguments about guys, and then as a fan, they're supporting our team here. So if they want to bend my ear, if with happy or bad, I try and make everything into a positive, and it's just the knowledge is power. Larry Wintoniak, the coach that I worked for in Dryden, he's coached in Flin Flon, Kindersley, all across Canada. It's the power of knowledge. So even negative knowledge, maybe we do have to improve on something if someone doesn't like something, right? And we try to do that all the time. We have a cold arena. I know it's tough on older people. Like my mom has a hard time being here. My dad has a hard time being here. So there's little things we're trying to do to, up the fan experience. And I tell our guys too, in the public, everyone knows who they are. So, act as if you're on camera all the time because it'll come back to me. I know we had one little blip on the radar, where guys went bowling and someone said a word that wasn't appropriate. And I tell our guys, I know people everywhere, and the manager of the bowling alley happens to be my neighbor. So she let me know and we corrected it. And it's just leaving everybody with a positive feeling, right? Especially when our guys are around. And, if we're on the bus or in the room, we can be goofy and have fun. And, I'm 42 and I'm probably the most immature one sometimes in the dressing room. But that was my favorite time of playing sports. We have 5 or 6 guys after our home games. They sit in the dressing room and they talk about hockey and life. And I know my wife doesn't like me getting home late on game nights, but that's my favorite part of hockey is sitting around with those 5, 6 players and just seeing their experience and what they're going through. And, brings back a lot of memories and it hopefully keeps me young.
It's keeping you young, Kevin, as well as the change in the culture of hockey here. We've seen some negative feedback over the last several months here with Hockey Canada. But last thing before I let you go, how important is it to see the clarity and getting some importance with regards to the hockey culture and its change that needs to be required through junior hockey?
Well, it's important, right? And it's, we're not impervious to making mistakes here, right? I always tell our guys to tell me before, right? And, if we get into something serious like that, we try and change the culture a little bit. We're a safe place. We're big against, there's no hazing here. It should be a safe environment for anybody, no matter how they identify with, we want a safe space for our guys. Our guys are during our meeting in September. That's the first thing they're going to hear. We don't bully. We take care of kids in our community that have been bullied. Colin Wiseman, took care of one of our fans who was bullied. His hockey team toque was thrown off the bus and Colin showed up, gave the kid a new toque from the Walleye and let him know he has 25 older brothers now if anyone wants to pick on him, right? And we're not answering with, that, but, it's different, right? From when I was a rookie to the rookies now, if I had to go through what I went through 23, 24 years ago now, it doesn't, I hope it doesn't happen anymore because, the whole lot of us would be in jail and that's just fact, right? And, some of the stuff that I went through or seen and stuff, was it right? It was right at the time. We didn't know any better, was it right at the time? I don't know. If you want to stick with this junior team in the late 90s, this is kind of what you had to do, and that's not how we operate here. You know what? They might, I know when I think they do some songs or something, some karaoke in the dressing room, but it's nothing to belittle anybody or anything like that. And I straight out will never put up with any kind of hazing or any bullying in our dressing room or even off ice stuff. You better keep your nose clean and be a gentleman in the community and or you won't be here very long. I can guarantee that.
The word was transparency. That's what I was looking for. The transparency of players and having that open door policy with the kids is certainly important because they are just as much a part of this team as anything.
Well,
go ahead.
No, I've just noticed, the mental health piece is so much different than it was, if I was in 1997, if I would have went into my coach's office and, told him I had anxiety or, I'm homesick or depressed, I would have got laughed at, get out of here, toughen up type thing where We're always checking in. We have a lot of people in our organization. We have Nate Geddes, Derek's son, who works with some of the mental health component. They know my door's open, Matt's door. We have Vern Ray, Chris Reganato, Brian Smelter, my brother, Curtis McCallum, our ownership, and everyone's, and I often tell our guys, if it's not myself or Matt you want to talk to, we have someone in the organization, and we also have people outside the organization if you need to talk about anything. And that's huge, right? These kids need to feel comfortable. They're coming all across North America to be with us, and their parents trust that we're going to take care of them, and that's on and off the ice. So we take that stuff very serious here, and knock on wood, there's never any kind of bad rumors started, with hazing or something we're doing, because I can assure you, I'd gas 23 guys quick if that's the way they think that we're going to operate.
Kevin, I appreciate the honesty and the value that you request of your players and of your organization. It's certainly the message that should be delivered across this country. You've been able to catch any of the World Junior games in the last little bit?
I've snuck it on a little bit. I've been trying to spend some time with my wife and my boy out at camp. Sitting on the shoreline there the other day and realizing, it's coming to an end. I might have 2-3 weekends out there if I'm lucky, and then it's go time. So it's trying to stay away from the World Juniors right now. So Mama trying to keep hockey off her radar for another couple weeks here, and then she knows she's a hockey widow for another 7 months.
Does it feel weird having a World Juniors at the end of August?
I find it tough, because our family gets together on Boxing Day, and it just doesn't have that same vibe to it, right?
Yeah.
I'd love to sit and watch Team Canada play hockey, but if the Lake's calling me, they're going to finish second of that one every time.
Yeah, Kevin, it doesn't have the same ring when you say the most wonderful time of the year is Boxing Day and Canada's playing, but it's not December, it's the middle of August, and you've got, like you said, the Lake calling. We've got other things to tend to, really. So appreciate the time, Kevin. Really a great conversation. Thanks so much for joining me on the ice, and good luck this season. I do hope to find you September 30th. I'm going to mark the calendar.
Well, I appreciate it, and I'll let you sit in the owner's box when you come.
Oh, just beside the Zamboni's fine. I'm cool with
That's
that.
The owner's box. We don't have a box in our building, so we'll get you somewhere where there might be a little bit of heat.
Oh, it's September. It shouldn't be too bad yet. If it's about 15, 20 degrees outside, I'll be fine. Now, you told me it's cold.
She gets tight in here.
That's good. Well, that just makes the walls shake a little bit, right? Get the little bit of roar.
Makes the fans louder so they can stay warm.
There you go. Loudness and energy brings warmth to the rink. Cam River fighting Walleye starting their preseason action early September with the Teleco Cup, and then finishing as they start their regular season September 23rd. Kevin, thanks so much for joining me today.
Thanks for having me, Theo. Always a pleasure.
Always. Take care. And that was Kevin McCallum, GM and Director of Player Personnel with the Cam River fighting Walleye here on the ice. Thanks for watching. As always, bringing more goodness to the greatness here on ASTV. I'd like to thank our sponsors, Doak Spoke Fuels, Case Financial Group, Toby Hockey, and of course, Pilot Mountain Hockey Academy. We'll be back later on in the week. Have a great weekend. Enjoy the weather out there. Summer's getting short. And but let's not think about back to school just yet. Take care. Bye-bye for now.
Welcome to Pilot Mountain Hockey Academy, your world-class academic and hockey training facility created to maximize each student's athletic and academic potential. Blackjack Stewart Arena, home of the Buffalo, is inside the 46,000 square foot complex, as well as a curling rink and other facilities. The students have a unique combination of successful, well-rounded education at Pilot Mountain Collegiate Institute and the professional hockey training in an encouraging community. The years of experience of on-ice coaching propel our students to the next level, both mentally and physically, in a professional environment.